Okay, now we can go into the packet that I attempted to explain, okay, the other day. And here's how we're going to go about this. Find the unknown length of a right triangle. This is a right triangle. It's called a right triangle because this little square angle, that means it's 90 degrees. It means there's one of the angles is 90 degrees. Okay, it's a little square angle. Now you don't need to draw the triangle, okay? Because all these are right triangles. All these have 90-degree angles. Okay, so what you're going to do is go right here. You know A, you know C, you have to find B. Okay, so A to the second plus B to the second equals C to the second. Just write that down. So it's just like the assignment I just gave you. Your A is 3. Your B you don't know, so you keep that B to the second, and your C you know is 5 to the second. So get rid of as many second powers as you can. It's 9. And then B, just keep it as B. And then 5 to the second is 25. Remember to get rid of your second powers. Okay, now you can get B to the second equals and then find what B equals. So I put the 1 dot and circle. These go together. Here's my equals. They are on opposite sides, so we need to minus. But I got to minus the correct one. That says minus, sorry. Minus. We minus the one being added to the bubble, so minus 9, minus 9. 25 minus 9 is 16. Now, I would divide, but it's just a 1. So I don't need to divide by 1 because it would still be 16. And now I find the square root of 16. So second, fourth key up, 16. That's 4. Okay, so that B, this would have a length of 4. Okay, next one. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. B you don't know, C you don't know, A you don't know. And again, if I don't know A, I pretty much know it's A to the second equals an A. Okay, I know that much. So A I don't know, keep that letter to the second. B we know is 3, but it's got to be 3 to the second. And C I know is 7, 7 to the second. So get rid of as many of the second powers as you can. You can't get rid of it on the A because you don't know what A is. So 3 to the second is 9 equals 7 to the second is 49. Okay, now I dot my A with a 1 and circle it. And here's my equals. They're on opposite sides, OPP, so we need to minus. Okay. Which one do you minus? You minus the one being added to the variable. So minus 9, and that gives me 40. Now dividing 40 by 1 would be 40, so I really don't need the 1. Okay, so A to the second's 40, and then I find the square root of 40. That'd be 6.32. Okay, and then just put 6.32. Okay. So A is 5, B, that's a 6 there. So I don't know C this time. So again, I go C to the second and C. But now I need to write my equation. A to the second plus B to the second equals C to the second. So A is 5 to the second. B is 6 to the second. And C I don't know. Okay. So we'll leave that. So I get rid of as many second powers as you can. 5 to the second is 25. B to the second, 6 to the second, 36. And C we don't know, so I keep that. So now I dot my C and circle it. And here's my equals. The other two numbers are on the same side, so we just add them, okay? So adding them just means I cross it out. And 25 plus 36 is 61. So 61 equals 1 times c to the second. Well, if it's 1, I have it, and I just put 61. Then I find the square root of 61. Second, fourth key up, 7.81. So there is your c, and you're just going to put that. Remember, your c should be the longest every time. Okay, next one. B is 5, C is 10. I don't know A, okay? So, again, we're going to have A to the second first, then we have to find A. So A squared plus B squared, squared means second, equals C squared, okay? So my A, don't know. B is 5. C is 10. Remember, keep the second powers. Now I get rid of as many of the second powers as I can. So A you can't find, okay? And then 5 to the second is 25. And then 10 to the second is 100. Okay, now I'm ready to find A. I dot my A to the second and circle it. And look at those two numbers there, okay? Here's my equals. They're on the opposite side, so I minus, okay? Minus the 25, not the 100, because the 100's not being added to your variable. The 25 is. 100 minus 25, 75. So I got 1 times A to the second equals 75. Well, I don't need the 1. If it's a 1, any other number you're going to have to divide, but not that one. So you got 75, then I find the square root of 75. Fourth key up, 8.66, and that is my A. Remember, C should be the longest. Okay, my next one. A is 8, B is 8, what's C? Okay, so A to the second plus B to the second equals C to the second. Okay, so A is 8. And again, C is the one we're finding, so it's going to be C second and C. B to the second, 8 to the second, and then C, I don't know, so I keep the letter there. So 8 to the second. These are the same thing, so they'll both be the same thing. So 64, and then write your plus operation, 64, and then the equals is right there. Now I don't know C, okay? Now, I dot my C and circle it. Now these two numbers go together. Here's my equals. They're on the same side, so that would mean we'd want to add them. And when you add, you just cross it out. 64 plus 64, and that's 128. Okay. Then you can delete your 1. So 128 is C to the second. Okay, so I know what C to the second is equal to. Now I find the square root. So second, fourth key up, and I get 11.31. And I just put 11.31 down there. Okay, C should be the longest. Okay, A is 8, B is 12. What is C equal? Again, I'm finding C, so C to the second. By the way, if you're noticing anytime you're finding C, that's when you're just going to add, because they'll be on the same side. Anytime you find A or B, the numbers are on opposite sides, so you're going to minus. That's not going to change because the Pythagorean theorem, I use the same thing every time. So A is 8, B is 12, to remember second powers, and then C, I don't know. So I get rid of as many second powers as I can. 8 second, 64. $144. And I don't know my C, so that's what I'm trying to figure out over here. So I dot it and circle it. Now again, these two numbers go together. The equals is right there, so they're on the same side. So same means you add, okay? Cross those out. and you take 64 plus 64, which is 128. So my equation now says 128 equals 1 times c to the second. Well, if the multiplying number is a 1, I can ignore it. So I put 128, and then I find the square root of 128 to find the number, to find what c actually is. Okay. Okay, and that tells me that c again wait a second, I screwed that up. 64 plus 44, 144 is 208, okay? Not 128, it's 208, okay? So it's going to be 208. I screwed, sorry. So go second, the fourth key up. Remember, you got to hit second, then 208. That's 14.42. Okay, and there's my C value. That's how long the side C would be of the triangle. Okay, A is 9, C is 41. I do not know B. Okay, so I'm going to go B to the second and B. Okay, so A I know is 9 to the second though. B I don't know B, so I keep that B variable. C is 41 to the second. Now, get rid of as many. You can't get rid of the second power there because that's a letter. That's the variable. Or no, wait a second, that's 9, not A. So 9 to the second is 81. B I don't know, so that stays. Then 41 to the second is 1,681. Big number there, okay? So I dot my B and circle it. Now, here's my equals. These numbers are on opposite sides, so opposite means we need to minus, okay? Which one do I minus? I minus the 81 because that's what we're adding to the variable. So minus 81, minus 81, okay? So I take 1,681 minus 81, that's 1,600. So 1 times b to the second equals 1,600. I do not need the 1 as my dot. Anytime that's my dotted number, I can get rid of it, okay? So I now have my b to the second, and now I find the square root of that to know what b actually equals. So second, fourth key up, 1,600 is 40, okay? So C is the largest, not by much, but it's there.